OmarFigueroa.com. Now it's time for our 420 Radio News for Thursday, February 28th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Indiana House backs drug tests of welfare recipients. This from USA Today. Indiana welfare recipients could face drug testing and loss of treatment in a bill now headed to the Indiana Senate. House Bill 1483, which passed the Indiana House 78-17 on Monday, is part of a growing movement among states trying to ensure that those who receive tax dollars because they are poor don't spend them on illegal drugs. 7 states have laws passed in 2011 and 2012 requiring drug testing or screening for public assistance applicants or recipients, according to the National Conference on State Legislatures. They are Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Utah. Representative Judd McMillan, the Brookville, Indiana Republican who wrote the bill, said, quote, "What we're trying to do is give somebody a hand up instead of a handout," end quote. Kansas Senate passes bill to require drug tests for welfare and unemployment recipients. This from kansascity.com. The Senate approved a bill Thursday requiring drug testing for welfare and unemployment benefit recipients, as well as lawmakers suspected of drug use. The 31-8 vote, mostly along party lines, advances Senate Bill 149 to the House. The proposal calls for drug tests whenever state officials have reasonable suspicion that someone receiving or applying for welfare or unemployment benefits is using drugs. Suspicion could be raised during addiction screening by the Department for Children and Families or by missed meetings or criminal records. A proposal pushed by Democrats to also test any lawmaker suspected of drug use was added to the bill. Suspicion of drug use by lawmakers could be identified by the Department of Administration based on criminal records or other complaints. Court rejects Florida law requiring drug testing for welfare recipients, from Fox News. A federal appeals court Tuesday upheld a temporary ban on a law requiring drug testing of Florida's welfare recipients. The 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Atlanta ruled that a lower court was right to temporarily halt enforcement of the state's drug testing program. The opinion said the state of Florida hasn't shown a, quote, substantial special need, end quote, for such mandatory drug testing. The ruling, authored by Circuit Judge Rosemary Barkett, added that, quote, there is nothing inherent to the condition of being impoverished that supports the conclusion that there is a concrete danger that impoverished individuals are prone to drug use, end quote. The Circuit Court's opinion also dismissed the state's argument that the testing for drugs without suspicion is okay because potential recipients sign a consent form. The court said the state cannot condition welfare benefits on the applicant's forced waiver of his or her constitutional rights. Thursday night marijuana forum in Yakima, Washington. From the Seattle Times, the State Liquor Control Board holds its 7th forum on Washington marijuana regulations Thursday night, tonight, in Yakima. Hundreds of people have attended each of the previous forums around Washington to comment on licensing requirements for marijuana producers, processors, and retailers. The rules have to be in place by December 1st. Marijuana cannon, the latest weapon of drug traffickers in Mexico, from the International Times. Border security between the United States and Mexico has forced drug cartels to come up with new ways to get drugs across the border. Police confiscated a makeshift marijuana cannon that was used to send marijuana into California. The marijuana cannon was made up of a long plastic pipe connected to a compressed air tank. The cannon was placed in the back of a pickup truck where it could be driven near the border. From there, drug traffickers could load a package of marijuana weighing up to 30 pounds and fire it over the border and into California. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s penalty for marijuana use highlights the need for updated regulations, from Yahoo Sports. The Nevada Athletic Commission hammered Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on Thursday, hitting him with a whopping $900,000 fine and suspending him for 9 months for using marijuana before his September 15th middleweight fight in Las Vegas with Sergio Martinez. The Nevada Commission was within its rights to fine Chavez, who failed a 2009 drug test in the state. It fined him 30% of his purse, the same fine it gave to UFC fighter Nick Diaz for the same offense last year. but Chavez had earned a purse of $3 million. Diaz was fined 30% of his $200,000 purse and $65,000 fight of the night bonus. Chavez's fine is the second largest ever doled out in Nevada, trailing only the $3 million fine to ex-heavyweight champ Mike Tyson for biting Evander Holyfield's ear in a 1997 fight in Las Vegas. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, February 28th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at legalization, medical marijuana, and a plethora of marijuana bills at the Oregon legislature. This is the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be back right after this.